Hey guys, I hope you can hear me because I am out recording on my tablet. Um, and forgive me for looking around. This is a video that I actually debated as to whether or not I should make it. And let me tell you, this one will probably be a long video because I have a lot to say. I was going to do it earlier, but like I said, it is one that I actually debated on whether or not I should do, because I'm putting myself out there. I am explaining things or telling things that I know will make people doubt me. It will probably bring forth people who are skeptical, naysayers, some who probably be rude and mean and say stupid things, but I believe that it is a story that needs to be told, and well, it's not even really a story, it's my truth, and I believe it's a truth that needs to be told. I did ask someone else if they thought I should make this video, and she told me yes, that she thought it would be a good idea, because it might help others to maybe understand what's going on, and help them to open up about experiences that they might have had. So here goes nothing, or here goes everything. I may lose some subscribers over this, I may gain some, you know what, I am not even worried about that right now. I believe it's a truth that needs to be told. And you can call me crazy, you can say whatever, but as long as the most important people in my life believe me, and those that are helping me believe me, then that's all that matters. And if you believe me, then that's awesome, that's great, and I thank you for believing in me. So without further delay, here is my truth. If you watched 2 videos that I made last week, one didn't go into full detail, the other explained exactly what happened to me last week. Here is even more information about that situation. I didn't reveal quite everything that happened last week because, quite frankly, I didn't know. I wasn't 100% sure that it was what I thought it was until I had someone kind of back me up on this. And I told her that I wouldn't say her name, but she said it was okay to tell people her YouTube name. So here goes. As you know, last week I had I had a situation that kind of mimicked the sleep paralysis, but I know 100% for sure I was not asleep. And I had someone else send me a message, they had watched my video and they were asking me all these questions about things that I felt and or experienced after I will call it an attack because that's basically what it was. And I will answer your questions in the telling of my truth. So, as you know, I had the experience last week that I said mimicked sleep paralysis, and as in the email that I received from someone else, not to someone who's helping me, but from someone else, they said that lots of times people will use sleep paralysis to explain something when they're not sure what is actually happening. And I mean, that's what I experienced, but I know what it was that caused me to experience that feeling of sleep paralysis. Like I said, I had the attack on my left, not my left, my right side, because that's where I had the trauma, and basically there was a crack or a hole in my aura, and so this thing thought that because it saw a weak spot that it could get to me. And well, it found out differently because I was still just a little bit stronger than what it was. No, I didn't experience any kind of physical marks that you could see. Sometimes after a paranormal attack, because this is what it was a paranormal experience, you will experience, the feeling of being sick, or you may see what looks like scratches or some kind of red marks. I did not experience any kind of physical pain marks. I didn't have anything that I could see. There was a slight feeling of being upset in my stomach, but I don't know if I can attribute that to the attack or if that was just, my emotions and my adrenaline still pumping through me. So I'm not going to say one way or the other what it was. I don't know, I'm beating around the bush about this because I'm still kind of on the fence as to whether to actually reveal the full, because like I said, I know there's going to there's going to be people that will doubt me. And I don't come out to tell people this story or truth because I want any kind of notoriety or anything. That is the furthest thing from my mind. I tell my truth to help others. So let me get back to where I was saying. But anyway, like I said, I've experienced, the physical attack on my, while this thing thought my resistance was low. And so, after I made my 2 videos explaining exactly what happened, Tigress Fire Opal, and I consulted her before I'd said, and she said it was okay to say her name. Tigress Fire Opal sent me a message telling me, how to heal or fix the hole in my aura, and I didn't have the tools that she suggested, which I do think it's a good idea to be looking for them, so that probably will, this weekend when I'm on vacation, I have a place near where I will be staying that sells crystals and rocks, so I'll be getting what she suggested. But anyway, so she said she would do it for me, and then she came back to me with another message telling me that, and this is where people are going to think I've lost my mind or, doubt me or whatever, that I had a gargoyle type creature in my house. And she did not know, sorry, the bugs are out here, I'm out back in the woods, and it rained early this morning, so you'll see me swatting at them. She did not know exactly just how very close to being right she was. This is not something that I had told, but only 3 people in my life. I had told my best friend, I told my husband, and I told my oldest son. But several months ago, I had this feeling of something coming into my home. It wasn't a threatening thing, you know, and this was my mistake in believing that it was not threatening, because I never felt threatened by it, but I didn't actually see it. I felt its energy and I could hear its voice, so to speak, in my mind, but I had a little imp. And if you look up pictures of imps on the internet, you will find what they look like. And I guess it was in my dealing with the Fae, and this is where I kind of took a left turn when I should have been going straight ahead. You know, I believed that it was alright for this imp, who are mischievous little creatures, to be in my home. I, as a witch, was kind of lax in my practice. I didn't, and this is my mistake, and this is where I hope others learn from this, I didn't set up the protective wards and things around my home that I actually should have, because like I said, in my dealings with the Fae, I was only thinking about the fairies. There are other creatures in the realm of the Fae besides the fairies, and that was my mistake in not thinking about them, because I didn't think about, you know, as me being a witch and working with the Fae, I didn't think about attracting unwanted Fae. I was only thinking about, you know, the fairies that I work with, and that's where I kind of went wrong. I didn't, like I said, I didn't set up the protection and the guards and the wards that I should have when I started working with the Fae. So I attracted things that I did not want to attract, and then I allowed it to stay. So, as I said, Tigress Fire Opal, you know, contacted me, telling me that I had an gargoyle-like creature, and I said, you know, so I sent her back a message telling her about my imp, and, you know, she said she would look it up, and she researched it for me, and she came back with a picture that was very close to what my imp looked like. The picture she showed me wasn't exact. My imp has a little bit bigger nose and a little bit bigger ears. And how do I know this? Because, as you know, as I said, I didn't see him. I didn't physically see him, but I saw him in my mind's eye. He even gave me a name, whether it's actually his real name or if he was just giving me this name so that I would, you know, trust him and not feel threatened by him. I can't say. But, so as I said, you know, I sent her back the message telling her, yes, this is what I had, and then she, you know, was helping me deal with it, and she's been telling me things that I needed to do to help protect myself from him. And most people, or where I've read on the internet and things, I haven't actually talked to anybody except for a certain few, Tigress Fire Opal being one of them. Sorry, I'm watching the birds. I kind of lost my train of thought. Yeah, totally. Boom, out of my head. Oh my god, my brain just totally went blank, and for the life of me, I can't remember what I was going to say. So, yeah, gosh. This, and telling this is just, I guess, a little bit harder than what I thought it was. Because I just got this really weird feeling, and then my mind went blank. So, you know what, this is very real to me, and I guess it's becoming a little bit harder to tell my story because, you know what, no, I'm not going to let the doubts creep in because that's exactly what they want. I believe that's where, because I was being sick and had been sick and, you know, been having the self-doubts and things, and this little imp was feeding off of my energy, and I feel that that's where the feelings were coming from, because he was, you know, making me doubt myself, and I guess my guard kind of was down, and the protective barrier that I usually put around myself was kind of, like I said, had a crack in it, and then my aura had a crack in it, and that's how he was able to try and attack. Forgive me. I don't mean to cry because this story needs to be told. And so anyway, you know, Tiger's Fire Opal was sending me messages telling me things to do, and then she sent me another message telling me that I did have a protector. And this is where it becomes hard for me, because that protector was a cat that I had that died 7 years ago. Her name was Scooter. And at the time when Tiger Aspire was sending a message on me, I had a female cat. That's not the cat that I thought was the one that was protecting me. I thought it was one that was a male that we had. And so when she came, you know, and told me, or she sent me the message and told me that there was a female cat, and she described the colors, I knew exactly what cat it was. Like I said, her name was Scooter, and she passed away. It'll be 7 years ago, August 27th. And this is hard for me. It's not something that I've thought about in a long time. I have had guilt over her passing every day for the last 7 years because she was sick. And had I noticed just a few days earlier that she was sick, I could have saved her. And when she passed, she took her last breath in my arms. And so, like I said, I have had guilt over the passing of Scooter for, like I said, almost 7 years. And it's my thinking that, and her protecting me that night was her way of showing me that she didn't blame me for her passing. I'm sorry, I hadn't planned on crying. And that is a story that I've not told anybody until, well, Tiger's Fireball was the first one that I have told in a 7 years time. I never even told my husband how I felt about the passing of Scooter. And if you follow me on Facebook, you saw a picture of her that I took in 2006. I think that was the last picture that I had of her. So it kind of relieved some of the guilt that I felt knowing that she is still here watching over me and my family, and that she helped, me in a situation when I needed it the most. So, yeah. So anyway, after that attack, and after, Tiger's Fireball was telling me things that there was no way that she could have known, because her and I have never met. We've only swapped and, texted and messaged through email, and through her leaving comments on my videos and I watching her videos. So we don't have, a personal one-on-one connection. We have a connection through, other ways, but we don't have, we haven't met. We've never met in person. So, she knew things that very few people know. Like I said, only 3 people knew about the imp. And no one knew, well, I mean, people knew about the passing of my cat, but no one knew what the cat looked like. And so she told me things that there was no way that she could have known. And so, she did come back and tell me that the energy of this imp wasn't as strong, and he was basically like cowering in the corner, and the cat was laying on the bed very smug like, saying, try that again, that type of thing. And so, people would say, why can't you just, ask him to leave? Well, it's not quite that simple, because these things, when they attach themselves to something or someone, it is hard to get them to leave. So, you pretty much kind of have to try and do what they call exorcism. And these are things that, while, I believe in the unseen and things, I kind of, like, I believed it, but I didn't believe it. You hear the stories, you watch, at least I do, I watch ghost hunters, I watch ghost adventurers, and you see the things that they see, and while, yes, I believe in the paranormal, I didn't ever believe that that kind of thing could happen to me. So I guess, in a sense, this made me a better witch. It's made me become more aware of the things that I should have been doing a long time ago, because, like I said, I was kind of lax in my practice, and I didn't actually believe that in my dealings with the Fae I was going to come across the, I don't want to say bad, but in a sense, I guess I'll just say I came across, I never thought that I would come across the not so nice part of the Fae, because I've always just dealt with the fairies, because there are the Seelies and the Unseelies, and I guess, I never thought that I would have to deal with the other side of the Fae, and that was where I was wrong in my thinkings. So, whether you believe me or not, that's, it's up to you to form your own opinion. I know what's real, and the people that in my life matter the most, they believe me, then that's what matters the most to me. So, I am setting up protective barriers around my house. I'm doing protection spells. I'm going to be burying wards that I'm making around the perimeter of my house. I'm going to be putting some black salt around the outside of my house, because I do not want to invite more of this type of energy into my home, because usually where there's one, there are others that will follow if you allow it, and I'm not going to allow it. So I will be doing, taking precaution and setting up measures to do this kind of stuff. But anyway, there you have my truth, and believe me, there's so much more to this story that I can't even begin to tell. But I have told you the most that I am able. And it's up to you to form your own opinions on whether or not you believe me. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.